So, HR calls me in one morning, real serious. Apparently, somebody laced a chocolate cake with laxatives, and now they're throwing around words like assault. And guess whose name comes up? Mine. Like I'm the booty bunker buster. I just smiled, on the inside of course. Now, I'm not admitting to anything, but hypothetically, if I did drop a chocolate booty bomb, this is how it might have gone down. Off the record. No longer thinking I'm the many, life went on. Finally told Tom in personnel, "You kill the Joe, you make some mo." He smirked and walked away. Who was I fooling? All bark and no bite. But then I noticed my tasty cakes started disappearing. One morning, I'm digging through the fridge, disgusting, by the way, smells like spoiled yogurt and broken dreams. Anne walks up. She sees me staring at the empty shelf. "Did he get you too?" "Did who get me?" I asked. "Tom." Turns out Tom's notorious for swiping food. Anne even caught him mid-chew once. She shrugs and says, "Old habits are hard to break." Some people just have poor home training. But walking back to my cube, I spot chocolate crumbs all over Tom's keyboard. Bold as day. He looked up and smiled. "I thought you funky, fat-fingered chocolate defiler." So I smiled back. But in my head, war has been declared. A couple of days later, I hear, "Oh God, not going to make it," echo across the cubes. Heads pop up like prairie dogs. Tom shoots out of his chair, clutching his backside like he's holding in Mount Vesuvius. Tom runs to the bathroom, but the bathroom's locked. How did that happen? And the elevator's stuck on the 3rd floor. That was coincidental, oh, by the way. He's now panic shuffling to the stairs. Last thing we hear, "No, no," echoing down the stairwell. I sat back in my chair and said, "Looks like karma's arrived." We didn't see him the rest of the day. Word was he'd fallen ill. When Tom came back, he went straight to HR. Sat in there telling some big story about being poisoned. Left out the part about him stealing food, of course. HR pulled the cameras. Grainy, useless, inconclusive. They subsequently closed the case. Friday came, and something feels poetic. I walk out of the break room with a fresh tasty cake and a full coffee. Stop at Tom's desk and said, "Good morning, Willy Wonka." Took a big bite. Looked dead into Tom's eyes. "This is a tasty, tasty cake." His eyes went wide. I smirked, sipped, and then walked off. 10 minutes later, HR pinged me. Tom ran back to HR with wild accusations, so I told them straight. On many occasions, my tasty cakes have been stolen, so I can't confirm or deny any carnal knowledge of said events. They frowned somewhat suspicious, but they had nothing. The only way to nail me was for Tom to admit he'd been stealing my tasty cakes, and he wasn't that dumb. Later on that day, Tom corners me at the printer. "I know you're the one who poisoned me." I didn't blink. "Poison you, moi." "Funny," I said. "Ever since you've been out of the office, my tasty cakes are always right where I left them." Blink, blink. I stepped up to Tom, very uncomfortably close, I might add. But as the villain in this story, it was necessary, dramatics and whatnot. In my coldest CSI voice, "Tom, I know exactly who's been jacking the tasty cakes. The same guy who's been killing the Joe and never makes some mo. Same guy who treats the fridge like his own personal guilt-free buffet. Coincidentally, the same guy who clutched his backside like a briefcase when Caramel Karma came a-callin'." Tom froze. Then I leaned in closer and whispered in his ear, "If I wanted to add something to my tasty cakes, I could. Because it was my tasty cake, Tom. And besides, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. Now that's how a villain monologues." I smirked, grabbed my copies and shoulder-checked Tom and walked away. However, I did stop and pause, looked over my shoulder at Tom, and said, "Best $10 I ever spent." I can't say that Tom learned his lesson that day. But what I can say, although the coffee pot still stays empty, my tasty cake's full.